My hair, it's giving Medusa. This caught my eye today. So everybody talks about things from Charlotte Tilbury that I don't enjoy, but what I do enjoy, I never see anyone talk about, and it's the eyeshadow formulas. They're spicy priced, but the formula, it is easy to work with, and it's beautiful, and it's pigmented, and it's sparkly, and it's delicious. Let's do a look. So I want to keep the look pretty cool tone. So I'm going to start with this more cool tone. This is a very interesting color, and we're using this About Face shadow kind of as a base. We're going to take a fluffy brush, just take the side of it, and we're just going to start to tap it over this way. And we'll just go ahead and put this all over our lid, but not quite all the way up to our brow bone. So no eyeshadow primer with these, but I have found, and that's what's fun about makeup, because makeup has advancements, but I found that layering eyeshadows on top of these liquid shadows, it works beautifully. Liquid shadows of makeup past, a lot of times if you put a powder on top, it would become patchy and it just wouldn't blend as well. These work nicely as a base. So now I want a taupe eyeshadow. And you know what? Sometimes it is hard to find a taupe. Let me give you a tip. What I like to do is I will find a brow powder, okay? Find a brow powder that says taupe. This is from Anastasia, Beverly Hills, and the shade is taupe, which means that it will more than likely be a true taupe. This one definitely is, and I also do just kind of throw some in my brows too. In fact, me and this brow, we're fighting today. So I'm gonna just run that through really quickly. That should soften them a little bit. But other than that, I'm gonna take it on that same brush and I'm just gonna push this into my socket. And isn't that a fun idea? This is something I wish I would have thought of. Some of us might already have a brow product that says taupe on it. If not, it's something that you can use on your brows. No, even as dark as mine are. I was saying, as dark as my brows are, I still use this, and I really think that y'all will use it because taupe is actually a more difficult shade to find in shadows, especially if we're just starting on our makeup journey, so we're not really sure what exactly a taupe is. That's taupe. This right here, that's taupe. And then we can even use that lighter shade to kind of soften and transition this top part. Fun, right? Time to hop into this palette. We're gonna grab it on the tip of this E29. I'm mainly gonna use this brush today because I want everything to be really diffused. We're kind of going for 90s extra glam. I feel like once I take my little things out here, it's gonna be really 90s. I'm kind of excited. So I'm pushing that, and we're gonna focus that on the outer part of the eye. And when I say outer, we're gonna stop it right there. I don't wanna bring it in too far. I feel like it's already dark enough. So let's just press it here. But then I am gonna start to swoop it out this way using very light pressure. I'm just gonna start to bring it out towards the brow, the tail of the brow. And I even wanna do frost. I wanna use the frost on my brow. So I'm kind of leaving a little extra space. Grabs a little bit more of that dark shade, just gonna build it up to match the other side. Pressing this onto the lid. You wanna know, this is probably not interesting to some of you, but maybe it is. Whenever I'm doing looks and it's from a specific time period, I think about what brush that they would have used at that time. And for me, I'm thinking, when I look back at pictures and I look at maybe Kevin Aquan doing Naomi Campbell's makeup, I look at the brush that he would be using on the eye, and it was normally a fluffier big brush like this. So I thought that that was really cool. So whenever I'm doing something from a certain time period, I like to factor in what size brush would have been used. I love this so much. I know it looks horrifying, but remember, it is Feral Monday. Where are we going now? Makeup Town, that's where. So what we'll do is we're gonna grab this, yes, this shade, grab it on the side of that E29. Let's place it here. Oh yes. That one's just kind of a little bit of a satiny finish, so pretty. I've already filmed once today, so you're gonna see lash glue. All I do is film. Wait till you see this shimmer with back camera. I mean, look at it right now. What in the heck? Why is no one talking about these shadows? So I want to just kind of place that in the center, and I'm just grabbing the E29. I feel like we could carve our entire lid. It's so sparkly and so pigmented. If we switch, it's not the look I want today, but if we switch to a C30, we could just carve this out and that would be so intense. I want it a little bit more diffuse, so that's why I'm gonna use the fluffier brush. This is stunning. Oh my gosh, and it's definitely giving 90s vibes. So pretty. I'm gonna grab MAC Feline pencil. It was just the closest one to me. Use any black pencil. I feel like this one's discontinued, but it's not special, so don't feel like you're missing out. It was just the closest. And I went pretty heavy. Okay, perfect. It's gonna look absolutely chaotic. Now let's grab this on our E27, and then we're gonna tap that to smudge it. Remember, we wanna tap it because that liner underneath there, any type of gel liner, really any eye pencil, it's wanting to dry. And when it's wanting to dry, if we kind of swipe back and forth too much, we run the risk of it becoming patchy and lifting and chaos. So just do some light tapping motions. You're gonna get a really nice even blend. It's not gonna take you that much longer. And then I'm just gonna take that same dark color and just build it up out here. Now let's put that black liner on our waterline, top and bottom. I haven't done this in a while, but this feels super 90s to me. So this is a good tip. So if you ever want to extend your eye, look for the, I don't pull on my eye, I'm just kind of showing you, don't do that, but for a demonstration I'm going to have to. See where my eye separates there? What we want to do is just kind of do a couple dots, and we'll still get a little bit of extension to the eye. Do you see that? Without making it too cat eye. And this would definitely work on hooded eyes because it's hidden with all of that dark shadow. But do you see how it just kind of continues my eye? And I'm continuing it out this way and not so much this way. And that's where that fold would really be. You're better off coming out straight that way. We're adding our lash. These are moon bows from Rokael Beauty. These are super fluffy, so if you're wanting a really glam pair of lashes, you're gonna love these. But let me tell you, this lash band, I don't even feel it. I put on those Ardells yesterday. They're listed in my last reel. They were so small and I could still feel that lash band. I felt that lash band more than these floofers. These lashes are special. Okay, so I just cleaned out from underneath my eyes with my micellar water. This is why when I do really any eye look, I get fallout. Fallout is so normal. I don't know when we started thinking fallout wasn't normal. I feel like YouTube the year of 2016 taught us that. It's not a bad thing, especially when it comes to specific techniques, how much you need to pick up on your brush. There's just so many variables. That being said, it's easy to clean it up. Super easy. And then we just reapply our eye cream. It's my fave from Elemis. You'll know how much I love this one. Just gonna scoop some out. Perfect. Need my little eye brush. I love these, by the way. This is the eye treatment brush from Anisa Beauty. I also really love to use brushes because my nails are so long and they're really easy to clean. You just clean them just like a makeup brush. I'm gonna add a little bit of this as well. This is the Cica Calm. I love this one. If your skin is grumpy at all, you're gonna love this. And I feel like it wears beautifully under makeup too. So I already have my moisturizer on. That's also Elemis, the Morning Matrix, but this is so good. Like I said, if you have any kind of redness, once this dries down, it's just magical. And it just feels so soothing. It's honestly getting me through summer. I'm scraping the bottom. I don't show this a lot because I feel like my stories are already 5 miles long, but as you can see, I use this every single day. And what I like to do with this is the Elemis Eye Revive Mask. I will just take this and tap it on top, and that just kind of locks everything in. I am gonna hop off and film a I'm gonna put my foundation and concealer on, but I'm filming a 3-part series. You're gonna like this. You are going to like it. Listen what it's on. It's on the difference between setting, baking, and finishing powders. I've been getting asked a lot about that. I will say a lot of it is going to be preference in powders, but you're going to see my preferences, and these have worked for me for a very long time. Not even in brand. Obviously, we know I love this, but a loose powder as opposed to a pressed powder under the eye. You'll see. I'm feeling fancy today. So I'm going to use my Tom Ford foundation. I'm actually going to have to switch shades, but look at this match now. Remember how good the other one matched? It's a little too light for me. Look at this match. I had bought 2. I knew it. I know it's a spicy price, but I will say I have been wearing it and I love the formula. I'm balanced to dry and it just wears beautifully. And now we've got another delicious match. And let's give a hand to the C42 foundation brush here, just melting this in. Please keep in mind that I'm pressing. You're gonna get the most out of the brush if you use these pressing motions. Let's not forget that ear. That's a really pretty match. I'm gonna put a little extra here. Oh, and don't be afraid of it not lasting. The other one doesn't even look like I've used it, and I've used it so much. So let's take a little bit of that foundation on our E29, and I'm just gonna soften these edges. I didn't want to do that Feline, really extreme cat eye. I wanted to go for something a little bit more rounded, but it will need to be melted in towards the edges. And then we'll just take some here, kind of clean that up. We'll take some here. Natasha Denona Concealer, shade R5. And once I blend this, I'm gonna hop off and go film the powder. Part 1, I'm so excited. I miss our series. Although I'm having fun with what I'm posting now. I feel like I'm posting more eyeshadow stuff and more, a little bit more intricate stuff, and it feels really good. We're having fun. So we'll work that in with our C31. Remember, we want to have a small brush. The closer to the eye, the smaller the brush, because you're just able to really work that in around those hard to reach areas. And the more worked in and more thinned out, evened out that product is, the better it's going to wear around the eye area. And really anywhere that we're more expressive. Say our forehead, we're definitely more expressive there, so you want a tiny brush. I'm back, and then I'm even going to green screen some of my favorite setting powders, because we're starting with setting powders. I'm so excited, I just have to tell y'all. It's probably confusing you, but you'll see the video. I'm gonna start posting it probably Wednesday. I'm probably not gonna post tomorrow, but I am gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face with this. Even though this is a powder foundation, you have to remember that you absolutely can layer this on top of your foundation for a little bit more coverage. This particular formula is made of magic dust. It's really not, but it's just so weightless and it's so pretty. I am only setting the perimeter of my face, just for a little bit more coverage. Just feeling pretty glam in this look. Underneath my eye in the center is the Givenchy powder. I feel like 90s vibes, it would not have been peach. It would have been something really coppery. So let's use this one from e.l.f. I'm starting with very small amounts because I don't know how pigmented this is. I feel like I've used it, but it's been a while. So if you're thinking, oh, that's not pigmented, I'm being very careful because I don't really want to overdo it. Ooh, that's perfect. So I dug this out. We've been reorganizing and I have been missing this. I don't know where it went. It ran away. It RUNNOFT. Really quickly, Elemis is such a cool brand. I don't know if y'all remember, but Elemis used to be in Sephora. I feel like Sephora used to have such cool brands in it. Not that they don't now, but they were brands that were super artistic, very innovative. So what that line is doing there in the middle, that's going to cancel any orange. So cool, just so cool. And I feel like they were ahead of their time and they needed a lot more education, and I couldn't help them then because I wasn't as much into education when they launched. So now I feel responsible. So now we went back into this shade, and that goes underneath here. And then, how do we have something and then it just runs away that quickly? Then we're gonna grab the taupe shade again, and then I just kind of soften these edges. And then I wanna connect it, oh, my phone's a little tilted, there we go. And then I wanna connect it over this way a little bit more. And just kind of soften those edges. So I feel like this would be the perfect 90s lip liner. And the reason why is because it's a very rusty red brown. And I feel like this is all that we saw in magazines, this color. It's ingrained in my head. This excites me. This is fun. I am having fun. Oh, and by the way, normally I would absolutely do my lipstick first, but I wasn't sure if this was going to be the right color. So I just went ahead and did this first. The only reason I'm doing lip liner first is because I just needed to make sure that it was that color that I had envisioned. So I haven't added any lipstick, and I'm glad I didn't. I kind of had an idea that just rubbing my lips back together, I would get that perfect color, and we'll just add a little bit of a gloss on top, something a little bit more transparent. It's perfect. Okay, I went feral and I wanted to add just a little bit of definition with the shade Chestnut from MAC. Just a little. This one can get pretty dark really quick, but this is looking so 90s. And then I'm going to clean up my lip line. So I just added a little bit of MAC clear lip gloss because I know it was something that was used in the 90s. Obviously this isn't just a perfect 90s tutorial, it's very much paying homage to it. But the colors, the frost, the cooler tones, the curls, I don't know. I was in a mood. Now it's time to frost. Oh, don't think I forgot the frost. E27, okay, we're going into this. Frost it up. Oh gosh, that's gorgeous. I forget how much fun frost is. And go ahead and just let that overlap into the top of that shadow. Oh yeah. Inner corner. And then let's go ahead and take it over this way as well. Fun. All right, that's gonna be it for Feral Monday. I will be saving this to YouTube, and then I'm not gonna post tomorrow, and I'm actually not gonna do a story. We're gonna take the day off, Ben and I, and we're gonna go on our little nature walk. I'm very excited. I love you all so much, and I hope that you'll enjoy this. I'm gonna go finish filming a bunch of more helpful videos, super helpful. I'm so excited about the powder series. Actually just gonna take a picture and green screen them so y'all can screenshot. I can't wait. All right, I love y'all so much. Thanks for getting glam with me today, and I'll see you in the comments tonight.